Well, hey, you guys. So recently, a guy called in on the Ramsey show saying that he was making more than $400,000 a year and still couldn't save an emergency fund. Well, this immediately ruffled some feathers because let's be real, the average American makes way less than that. And a lot of people were thinking, I would do anything to make that much money. What is his problem? What is going on? Well, the simple answer is lifestyle creep. And this term is thrown around a lot. But what does it actually mean? And what does it actually realistically look like in someone's life who is struggling to find margin? So today, I want to unpack 5 specific reasons that wealthy people are living paycheck to paycheck. Now, he definitely is not alone in this. So let's talk about how someone might get to a place and how you can find your way back out if you are in this place. And like I said, we're not going to camp out here for a super long time, but first, let's just, again, clarify this concept of lifestyle creep, because all this really is that as your paycheck grows over time, so do your expenses. And most working Americans experience gradual salary growth along with steady inflation throughout their professional career. And rarely does someone go from making $35,000 a year to $400,000 a year overnight. Now, if this were the case, that margin would be much easier to grasp because they were used to living on, $38,000, $35,000 a year. But what happens is that slowly, as it goes up, it might be harder, and it is for some people, to track and to manage as their lifestyle continues to increase. Now, off the top of my head, here are 5 reasons why this is. The first reason is really simple, and while it's not the best news, there is reality to this. It is inflation. So things are starting to cost more money over time. And people love to complain about the cost of gas and groceries and cars and houses because, well, genuinely, let's all be honest, the cost is higher. Now, if you're feeling the pain of inflation, I'm right there with you. But unfortunately, none of us have the power to change the cost of our essentials. And things are going to cost more over the years. So the question is, what are you going to do about it? Now, I have some ideas, and we'll get to those later. But for now, let's talk about reason number 2 why wealthy people are living paycheck to paycheck. That is debt. Now, this one may seem obvious, or it might not feel like a real problem for someone that's bringing in 6 figures. But sometimes when people start to earn more money, they start to think that they can just take on more and more debt. And obviously, debt can affect anyone from any walk of life. But some people never even consider their credit cards or car payments until their income goes up. And suddenly they're thinking, oh, well, I can handle it. But unfortunately, the reality is, you guys, debt is debt. It's always going to steal your paycheck and feel like a burden. You're not invincible just because you got a raise. Now, having to throw away your hard-earned money on interest and minimum payments and late fees every month feels overwhelming. It feels defeating at any income level. But why does debt feel like such a good option to people? Well, reason number 3 is actually the main reason behind reason number 2, and that is increased expectations. So this can be really subtle, but it's really real, you guys. So for example, let's say you move into a slightly bigger house, nothing crazy, but you're not moving into, some crazy mansion like a bunch of celebrities, right? But you've leveled up a little bit. And maybe you went from your first house to a slightly bigger house because you've had a couple of kids. Now, maybe you bought the smallest house in a high-end neighborhood, or maybe it's not house-related. Let's say your kids start a new school and their friends' parents make a little bit more than you, and you're starting to, be friends with them and you're kind of seeing what they're doing. Like whatever it is, when you're surrounded by a new aesthetic, and a standard of living, it's easy to feel like you have to level up every part of your life. That may not be conscious, but subconsciously, that's what you're seeing. But trust me, it does not have to be that way. When Winston and I got our house in 2008, our first house after we were married, now granted, at the bottom of the real estate market, so we got a bigger house than what we were expecting to get because prices were so low. But you guys, when we bought it, we didn't have the furniture. We moved some of our furniture from college, into it, but we didn't have a ton. We had enough to get a living room set and a bedroom set and, a kitchen table. But we really took our time. So I just want to encourage you that don't feel like you have to go all in on something. You actually can really ease yourself in, and you need to manage, though, your expectations when it comes to that. So again, don't take one step forward just to take 2 steps back. Take it slow and make progress over time. And now I want to tell you about something that I have been loving lately, especially since summer is here. Now that school is out, there's a good chance that your kids have more screen time. But keeping kids safe while on those screens, well, that is so stressful for parents. So let me tell you about a great way to give yourself peace of mind. True Play games. With True Play, you don't have to worry about what might pop up on their screens. True Play is one app with a bunch of entertaining games and videos and so much more, all designed to help kids build character and grow in their faith. There is no chat rooms, no ads, and no in-app purchases. True Play turns screen time into stress-free time for mom and dad. So go to trueplaygames.com/Rachel now and get 20% off an annual subscription with promo code Rachel20. All right, the fourth reason wealthy people are living paycheck to paycheck is a little more technical, and that is the lack of adequate insurance. If your salary and standard of living have slowly creeped up, don't forget to properly insure the things that you own. So housing, car, health. It's crucial that you're fully covered in all of these areas in case of an emergency. If your homeowner's insurance is still at the base level for what you signed up a few years ago, consider increasing your coverage. Although it may feel unlikely, the last thing you want is for a big unexpected emergency to wipe out your insurance coverage and your emergency fund savings. So make sure you are covered. And finally, the fifth reason wealthy people feel like they're living paycheck to paycheck is that they don't follow a monthly budget. Even high-income earners need structure and need a plan. And remember, a budget doesn't keep you from spending money. It actually gives you permission to spend money. And it takes all of the guesswork out when it comes to your bills and your expenses. And if, can I pay this? Is that okay? When's the next paycheck coming? Like, all of that is cleared up, you guys. You have a plan. So it's never about the specific salary number that you're bringing in. It is about your behavior and possibly needing to adjust that to see progress when it comes to your money. Now, if you've never tried the EveryDollar app, guys, try it. It is the best budgeting app. It is my favorite. I highly recommend it. I will leave a link down below so that you can create a custom budget for free today. And it only takes a few minutes, but it is a total game changer. And if you need a little extra guidance, check out my episode on creating a budget from scratch. All right, you guys, remember to take control of your money and create a life you love.